All right, so right about now, just to give you an update about our trade, to give you an update about our trade, right? What is gold doing at the moment? So based on what we analyzed earlier, we're expecting gold to come to 50, 27, 30 zone. We're expecting gold to come into this zone before we continue the sell on gold, and gold is looking as if it's coming back to that zone at the moment. But the question is, are we going to take this trade or not? All right. Now let's check through together. We're gonna check through this chart together and see if this trade is worth it or not. If this trade is worth it or not, because the market seems to be changing. Let's check the SY. All right. So as at this moment, the sell trade on gold is invalid. As at this moment, the sell trade on gold is invalid. Until when? Until you get to this point. Until you get to this zone, right? Or even this zone. Then you can see a continuous buy on DXY. So as at this moment, the sell trade on gold is invalid. So we'll be watching out for a buy opportunity on gold. And now the question is, when is that buy opportunity happening? Why? When is that buy opportunity happening? Right? I'm not seeing a, what is it called? I'm not seeing any sell on gold again at the moment. Actually, wish I took in. I actually wish I took the buy, but yeah, I don't regret it because it was quite a tricky one. I don't know if market was going to break below this point or it was still holding. So technically, this is just what market did. So gold is still on the buy. Just came back to this major zone. But it couldn't break this zone today. Market tried so many times, at least two times. First touch today. We had a first touch today at this point. Second touch. But guess what? Market kept on bouncing back at that point. So simply means gold is holding this zone for a continuous buy. That's exactly what gold is doing right now. And on the long run, we'll be looking out for breaking above this zone and take the buy we were waiting for earlier this morning or earlier this afternoon, thereabout. We're looking out for a buy on gold. So now we have to wait. And there's something about trading, it requires patience a lot, guys. Now we have to wait again. We have to wait. We don't have any option but to wait. If we must make money, we have to wait. We have to wait because we're just rushing because gold is buying right now. We're just rushing and take the trade all along, and that is a trap. So we have to wait and see what market is going to do at this very point. All right. So at this junction, this is invalid. He said, now, no, 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 invalid, invalid. Gold is back here right now. We can see a short sale back to this point, of course, before continuing buy to the upside. So it's not a big deal, but it's not going to be a massive sale like as it was expected because the SY is back to sell. The SY is back to sell. So gold is still coming to 50-30 zone. So the only thing we can see right now is just to see retracement probably back to this point, which I doubt. Which I doubt will which I doubt we'll see that. I don't think we're gonna see that. I don't think we're going to see any major sell. So for now, what am I looking out for on gold? What am I looking at for on gold? So I'm looking out for this scenario to play out. This scenario to play out, retracements, then tank it to the upside. Another retracement at this point, then you might successfully have to break this point at this junction. Probably break this point at this junction. So gold is back to being bullish, unlike earlier that we are looking at for a sell opportunity. Gold is back to being bullish, and this was what just happened. Gold head on to this zone, major demand zone here. We cleared all the liquidity, and gold is trading within that zone, right? Um, we're expecting a sell continuation, but that is not going to hold anymore because the SY is back to sell. And remember, we said when the SY is selling, gold is simply going to be buying. So you're looking out for more buy opportunities at this moment. However, we have to watch out for certain zones before you can take that decision. So we are not rushing. We're just going to take our time, wait for the market to play out, and boom, you can ride all along. All right. So this is what we see. As long as we didn't break this zone, gold is still buying. As long as we didn't break this zone, gold is still buying. Look at today was just a range market, right? We're just ranging inside this zone, guys. A range inside this whole box. This is everything market did today so far. So far, it's everything market has done today. Everything market has done today. Everything market did today. So we're watching out for more. We'll now be watching out for buys instead of the sales. Now be watching out for buys instead of the sales. The sales might would have still be active, but the SY is saying otherwise. Look at the SY is saying so. Why the SY is retracing back to somewhere here? Then we are going to see a fall on gold that will give us the buy opportunity for everyone to enter and ride it to the upside. All right. Except the SY doesn't hold the sell anymore and keeps buying back to this zone. I actually initially expected the SY to buy back into this zone, but market did came back just to this point. We expected retracement from this point, but never thought it's going to be massive as this. So at this point, looking out for more buy and sells, more buys and sells, right? More buys and sells, more buys and sells. Sells. More buys and sells. So that's what we're looking out for. More buy. Yeah. That's what do hope the market give us a very clean move. This might not happen now, maybe probably towards Asian session, market opening at night and other, or towards when market is closing, we get to this point, then we trace back, then boom to the upside. But I think Asian session is going to take us to the upside, at least to this point, right here. At least to this point. I think Asian session will take us to this point. Then from this point, we'll be looking out for a sell. Or this is a liquidity gap at this point. We have a liquidity at this point. The market should tap into this liquidity. Market should tap into the liquidity and give us a sell continuation. Some points, except dollar keeps falling. All right, let's see how far dollar can fall. Yeah, let's see how far dollar can fall. Dollar might as well fall deeper, but because of the uncertainty in the market, that is the war and all that stuff, we might not see much of a good sell on dollar. Right, we might not see much of a very long sell on dollar. Otherwise, technically, we should expect dollar to get to this zone at least. That means buy for gold. That simply means buy for gold, right? That simply means buy for gold. Well, based on the fundamentals affecting the markets, might probably be seeing more buys on DSY. So for gold, now we are going to be calm enough. We have to break out of this zone to the upside, catch up with it, or we break below this box, then we continue the sell. So this is what is going to happen on gold. This is what is going to happen. And remember, for a ranging market, it's not always advisable that you take a trade. All right, you should always remember that it's not very advisable. It's just like you are gambling on faith, or you are hoping the market won't break above this point, so you are selling down. You're hoping the market won't break below this point, so you are buying back to the upside. And that was why I didn't take this buy. I didn't take any buy today at all. All my trades were sales. One, two. Then I took a third one. I did took a third trade inside this box here. Gave about 200 pips there about before buying to the upside. So this is what is happening on gold. It's too scenario The sell, the sell also happen. So this is what we are looking at for. This is just basic market structure, guys. This is basic market structure. This is basic market structure. This is basic market structure. So we're waiting for market to just break out of this zone. Either ways, we have to be patient. That's what we're going to be doing. We have to calm down. You can't just rush into the market. So this is what we are looking out for. Market breaking above this box, rectangular box, or breaking below it. This is when we have a clear directional bias on this gold trade. So if either of these happen, it's going to be okay. If this breaks out, which I think is more likely to happen because of the sell on DSY here, we're having sales on DSY currently, but of course we could retrace back up because DSY is currently on the demand zone on the 4 hours time frame and it's tapping into liquidity already. So we might of course see a retracement on DSY from this point. So if that retracement does happen, then we're going to have a sell continuation on gold, right? This liquidity on DSY on 4 hours time frame. I guess that is where we are here currently. I guess that's where we're here currently. So I do expect more buy to the upside from this zone. As you can see, market is even reacting to it already. Market is reacting to it already. But if we do break below this zone, this demand zone, then DSY is going to continue. Sell to the downside, then that means buy for gold. So we have two scenarios for gold. This we have this scenario: market break, go to the upside, break, come back to the downside. So we can confidently take trades within these zones when either of these plays out. Right now, initially I was waiting for a sell at this point, 2730 zone. Waiting for a sell, but depends on what we see on DSY. Depends on what we see on DSY. So it's already evening. Market is going to be less volatile. I'm just going to chill off and see what happens. Right? I'm going to see what happens. Okay. So if DSY is holding this point, then we should go back to the upside. Otherwise, continue the sales. So the only thing we need right now is to calm down. Watch out for what market is going to do. There's no point being hasty. You don't want to lose out on your hard-earned money this night. You don't want to do that. Yeah, I bet me you don't want to do that. Or I bet you don't want to do that. For real. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. So gold is likely to sell from this zone because this is a zone as well. We haven't broken this zone yet. But I think can just be a retracement back to this point and buy to the upside. But I'm not going to take that trade. I have to be sincere with you guys. I'm not going to take that trade. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not. It's a risky bet. It's a risky bet, guys. Very risky one for that matter. We've had enough trades, positive trades today already. There's no point gambling on uncertainty. All right. There's no point gambling on uncertainty. But this is a very uncertain trade. That's why kind of trying to hold this point, it should be a good push to the upside and gold is still gonna sell. But we don't know that yet until we see a good candle closure above this zone back to the upside, right? So for now we just chill up, watch out for what market is gonna do. And yeah, until then, we relax guys, relax, relax. Until then we just chill up and relax. Alright. So guys, I'll be off the screen for now. Coming back shortly, sort out some stuff. Alright. See you guys later.